3, 2, 1. 여러분 안녕하세요. 저는 레이입니다. 오늘은 한국어 공부하는 비디오 만들고 있어요. 한국말 하고 싶으면 한국어 공부해야 해요. 파이팅! 할 수 있어요. So I'm going to be sharing you my tips on how I learned Korean for those interested in learning Korean. And just a little bit about me, I came from zero Korean background. I knew nothing about Korean when I came here. The most I did was on my plane here from Thailand to Korea, I was just studying and learning how to read and speak Hangul, which are the Korean characters. So that leads me to my first tip, which is learn Hangul. Learning Hangul before I came to Korea or even as I was arriving to Korea has made my Korean experience so much more easier. Even though you can find a lot of English in Korea, well, mostly in Seoul. Even then though, everything is still written in Hangul, and Hangul is actually very easy to learn. You can learn it in one day. Even English words are written in Hangul. For example, banana is written like this. And honestly, the coolest feeling ever is being able to read Hangul and recognizing that this word says banana in Korean. Your mind is blown and you just feel some sort of accomplishment in life. So how did I learn Hangul? So I used an app called Hangul, which you can find on the Play Store. I don't know if it's on Apple, but probably. Or if not, you can find a similar one. But the reason why I really like apps is because it gives you an opportunity to listen, to read, and to practice over and over and over, because repetition is so important when learning a language. Not only that, apps do usually include quizzes, which is awesome because reinforce the language that you're learning. Once you get into the habit of reading Hangul, try to read full-on words like banana, for example. If you can read ba and you can read na, then there you go, you know banana. And just read things even if you don't know the meaning. The fact that you can just read it is cool. When I came to Korea, and I still do at this very day, I just constantly am reading things on the subway, at restaurants, grocery stores. Even if I don't know what it means, I'm just reading it to help practice my speed and help practice my recognition. And like I said, Hangul is very easy to learn. You can learn it in one day, so just take a week or two to learn Hangul, and soon you'll be a master at reading Korean. The second tip that I have is that I started to use iTalki as a platform for me to learn Korean through a teacher or a tutor. And I know I've talked about iTalki before because they are awesome enough to sponsor my videos, but even before they decided to sponsor me, I was using them for Korean, and actually I knew of them years ago because I was using them for Japanese as well. So when I first came to Korea, I met a friend who was regularly using iTalki to learn Korean because she said it was so much more affordable to learn through iTalki than it was to get a Korean tutor in person. So I thought that was really smart, and I knew of iTalki before because of Japanese, so I was like, well, why not? I'll use it for Korean. So the next day I decided to go ahead and book an appointment for iTalki, and then I was able to meet with a one-on-one teacher who was able to really work with me and understand where I'm coming from.
한국에 사니까 어때요?
생활?
네, 생활이 어때요?
좋아요. 학교 와서. If you don't know what iTalki is an online platform where you get paired up with a one-on-one tutor or professional teacher, and it's not just for Korean. They do have many other languages as well. The best thing about it is the fact that it's affordable and all you need is internet access. The best thing about having a tutor or a teacher is the fact that it's very personal and they can really work with your needs and your ability. So my Korean teacher knows exactly where I'm at and what I struggle with, and so she continues to emphasize those parts where I'm struggling. And since they are now my sponsor, which I'm so thankful for because I've known them for years, and now that we're at this point just makes me so happy. And this sponsorship does help me invest back into my channel, so I'm just really thankful, and thank you so much for being patient with me as I talk about them a lot in my videos. But I can't recommend them enough, so if you do have the chance to try them out, I do have a special link below where you get $10 in iTalki credits, and it'll show up within the first 48 hours of your purchase. So if you do want to give iTalki a try, I definitely do recommend it, and that is just one of the things that I have done to personally learn Korean. The third thing I did was to focus on vocabulary and grammar. This is insane, right? Okay, I know this looks intimidating, but don't be intimidated. I just want to say that books are a great way to learn both grammar and vocabulary, and especially grammar. If you are a beginner in Korea, I do recommend this book here, Korean Grammar in Use for Beginners. This book is great because it teaches you very basic Korean such as 저는 or 나는, and it's just really good for someone who is self-studying. Another fantastic resource that I definitely do suggest is the Talk to Me in Korean books. These are wonderful. I also really love them. Like, if you can combine this and this, you are golden, to be honest. But the best thing about the Talk to Me in Korean is the fact that this company offers so many resources. Not only do you get the book, but there's also a YouTube channel, there's also a website. I mean, there's just so much that comes along with this. There's also even workbooks as well. I think the best part about Talk to Me in Korean is the fact that if you go to the website, you can even do a level placement test to see where you are at in Korean. And then from there, they'll recommend what book works best for you. And you can also just use the website because the website provides a lot of the information that you can get in the book. And they also have videos to accompany each lesson, so that way you can listen and watch and get an understanding of what the material is. However, I do strongly recommend to learn Hangul to get to this point, because Hangul, you just need to really learn how to read, because I mean, romanization in Korean is just very awkward, I think. And a lot of materials don't even have it. So you should honestly just learn how to read Hangul before you start getting into grammar and vocabulary. Although books and having resources are a great way to learn, it is great to have someone you can talk to and ask questions to. So I do recommend having some type of teacher or tutor that can really help you understand. And if you have any questions, it's also a great way to kind of reinforce the questions you have, because I started out a lot with this, but I have so many questions, and so that's when I figured a teacher or a tutor would be such a great way to help me really understand what I was kind of confused on, that watching a YouTube video just wasn't getting it. Okay, so now my fourth tip is to learn the vocabulary. So I was kind of talking about it earlier, but knowing the vocabulary is just really important, because if you don't know the words, then how can you speak? So I don't know, I kind of was a little bit backwards. I sort of was just picking up little things for my students, and then I just kind of learned the grammar, but my vocabulary was weak. So even though I could understand how to put things into a sentence, I didn't know how to put those words into a sentence because I didn't know the word. It's a very interesting paradox that I was in. So I definitely do recommend learning the vocabulary. And for me, the best way to learn is through old-fashioned flashcards. Yeah, so I use a lot of flashcards. Actually, I have so many flashcards, it's crazy. I have way more than this. But learning through flashcards has helped me so much, because it allows me to just really have control of what words that I don't know and what words I do know. And I feel like I can gauge my own knowledge through good old flashcards. But there are also many cool apps that you can use too. Memrise and Anki Droid also have really cool vocabulary you can learn. Anki Droid, I think, also has the most used Korean vocabulary. But again, I recommend before you do this is to learn how to read. Korean dramas are another great way to learn vocabulary, and also it's a great way to learn how to do listening as well. Did you know that with Vicky, for example, that you can have Korean subtitles and English subtitles at the exact same time? And then if you click on the Korean subtitle, it actually comes up with the translation and the meaning. So it's actually really cool. So if you hear something and you want to know what that word is, you can actually pause the video and click on that word to learn what it means. So cool, right? So let's go ahead and move this. My fifth thing I started doing was to talk to Koreans. Wow, that's a great way to learn Korean, right? To actually talk to the Korean people, because they also speak Korean, because they're Korean. Obviously, if you are in Korea, like I am, it's a lot easier, but if you do not have that option, I do have some suggestions for you. There are some really cool apps. So one app I want to recommend is called HelloTalk. HelloTalk is a language exchange app. So you can set your setting to where you want to learn Korean. They have other languages as well. And here you can find Koreans who are interested in learning English or whatever your native tongue is. HelloTalk is actually where I personally met some of my Korean friends through, because it's a lot easier since they live in Korea. Actually, after this video, I'm meeting a friend who I met through this app, because she lives literally next door, which is amazing. But even if you don't live in Korea, it's still a very cool way to make Korean friends and to talk with Koreans. This app is pretty cool because you can type, you can read, you can even do calling. Another shout out to iTalki. They do have a community tab, which is pretty cool, so you can make friends through that. Well, I've actually been contacted through iTalki by other users. And also, don't be afraid to check out your local communities as well. Korean churches are quite big in the States. I don't know, maybe your university has something set up too. It was thanks to my Korean friends I met met at university that I had some sort of knowledge about Korean in the first place. So tell me, what tips do you have for learning the language? Post in the comments below, because maybe it could help someone, maybe it could help me too. I'm still learning as well. And if you have learned something from this video, please consider subscribing, liking, leaving a comment, or sharing with a friend. And right now I'm currently focusing on making my channel grow and making it high quality just to create content for you guys. So it would mean a lot to me for your support. So if you do like it, you know, give it a thumbs up. I also do have an Instagram too. Check that out, yo. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.